I'm Logan Crawford, and right now on Spotlight, we're delving into Promise of the Good Luck Coin. It is a wonderful book written by an amazing author by the name of Jerry Dean. This enthralling novel takes readers on a journey from the depths of the Depression through the tumult of the Vietnam War era. At the heart of this story is a tale of forbidden love, a child's quest for identity, and the mysterious power of a 1785 coin that seems to weave destiny itself. We're delighted to have this very talented author join us here today on Spotlight. We thank our team at Atticus Publishing for helping us put him in the spotlight today. We ask viewers like you to support writers like him by subscribing to our channel and by purchasing his terrific book. The links are below this interview. Jerry, great to see you here today on Spotlight.
Good to be here. Thank you.
My pleasure. My pleasure. This is such a terrific book. It's an imaginary tale as well. Where did you come up for this good luck coin? Did you ever have one?
Yes, and I still have it in my possession.
Really? Okay.
Yes.
And what
Uh,
does that date back to?
my father brought the coin back from Europe during World War II. He was
Awesome.
stationed in Germany and two or three other places, and he passed on in 1957. And at that time, I was too young to even inquire about the coin, but it's always been in my possession since his death.
That's wonderful. So this is a great hat tip to your dad because in part it's inspired by him because of that coin.
Yes.
Awesome. Awesome. Let's give the folks at home an overview. Tell them what the story is about.
Well, the story is about growing up in rural South North Carolina. It's about on a farm, raising pigs, cows, chickens, and growing tobacco and selling it, and raising wheat and soybeans and all of that. And about living there on the farm and all of the people who worked on the farm. And a lot of it was, there was a lot of humor in it and a lot of different things.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And it also spans generation, your stories, right?
Yes, it does. It spans generations. And the impetus for writing this book was I'm 78 years old now, and I see young people in the younger generation who they don't know what it's like to live in a house with no plumbing in it, no bathroom, no running water, no electricity. And I'm probably one of the last generation, or my generation is the last of that period. And I want my children and grandchildren to understand what it was like to live in those hard times. And at the same time, you got up in the morning on the farm and you worked from daylight till dark every day. It didn't matter if it was freezing cold or blazing sun. I just don't think the younger generation understands what it was like to live back then, and they don't understand what it's like to work like that.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, they're lost if they can't find their phone, right?
Yes,
And
yes.
not only did you not have electricity in your house, you didn't have running water in your house either, you say, right?
No running water either. For the first three houses I remember living in, we did not have running water or electricity. Now, we did live in two houses before that, but I don't remember that.
Right.
As I said, the first three houses I remember living in.
There's something wonderful and magical about those times, no matter how hard they were.
Yes,
You
yes,
know, that's the thing that's lost in all of this, that kids today have so much, but they have so little. I didn't
yes.
grow up like you, but I grew up in a house where we had, it was a rooming house basically. And if we could scrounge together a nickel to buy an ice pop, we were thrilled. You know, those were happy, happy days. And, so a lot is gained, but a lot is lost. And I think that's wonderful about your book because it's a great reminder of that as well. Tell us about the role that the coin plays in your book.
Well, the coin is passed down from generation to generation in a German family.
Mhm.
And in the book, that German family and that coin passes down to my real father.
Mhm.
According to the book, he is my biological father, and he had the coin. It saved his life in World War II. It saved his father's life in World War I. And the next book that I'm going to be working on will probably be how it saved my life in Vietnam.
Wonderful. Wonderful. And did everybody in real life bring that coin with them? Did you have that coin with you in Vietnam and your dad and your granddad? No, right?
No.
No. It sounds so real, which is great, which is what makes it such a great story. But yeah, so you're taking a little liberty. I know your dad had it in World War II,
Yes,
then he
yes,
gave it to you. But
yes,
your story sounds so real, it reads so real, and that's the magic of it all.
yeah.
And what are the powers of this coin? I know it saved your life, but does it have any more powers than that?
No, nothing like that. It's just supposed to save your life. It's a coin passed down from generation to generation. As I said, now that was generation in my supposedly in the book by biological father, not my father here in North Carolina. My
Gotcha.
father in North Carolina brought the coin back,
Right.
really in reality, but in the book, it's the father in Germany who has the book coin, and it's passed down from generation to generation. And then it's finally given to me on by getting ready to leave for Vietnam.
Amazing. Amazing. Did you serve in Vietnam?
Yes, I did.
Yeah, yeah. So this book is such a cool blend of real family history and slightly imagined family history as
Yes.
well. The book also deals with a forbidden love affair during wartime. Tell us a little bit about that part of the story.
Well, that part of the story is a lot of the POWs, Nazi POWs, were captured and they were brought back here to the United States.
Mhm.
And at Butner, North Carolina, which is about 20 miles from Durham, North Carolina, there was a POW camp. And many of the people around here, the farmers, had these POWs working on their farms.
Wow.
And that's history.
Mhm.
One of the people that I knew very well, who was the head of the 4-H, Mr. Jones, he had many working on his farm. And in the book, my grandfather had two working on his farm. And of those two in the book, one of those had an illicit love affair with my mother, whose
Mhm.
father, I'm sorry, whose husband, my father, was overseas at the time.
Wow.
So she gets involved with a captured POW who's working on the farm while her own husband is overseas fighting his comrades.
Right. Yeah, that is a forbidden love affair for sure.
Yes,
Yeah, yeah, but an amazing part of the story because anything that makes you say, what, this is happening is a good thing. Have you
yes.
envisioned this as a movie, perhaps, or a TV series?
I have, and I've had so many, many people who've read the book. They say it would make a great movie.
Yeah,
Uh, Out of 10 people have read it, almost, I would say 9 of the 10, or at least 8, have said this would make a great movie.
yeah, absolutely, absolutely. I mean, it has such great locales. It spans the generations. It's got colorful characters. It's got drama, espionage, intrigue, love. What's not to like, right?
It's got just about everything in it. Yeah.
Exactly. Was it fun writing it? Did you enjoy living in that space while you were writing this
Yes, I
novel?
did. I get involved in it, and I just go on for hours and hours and hours writing. I
Yeah.
really do.
And you feel like you're living there, right? You feel like it
Yes,
is Vietnam or it
absolutely.
is World War II or, it is
Yes.
amazing. It's such a wonderful way to transport yourself to a different world.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a thrill of writing, that's for
And
sure.
when I was in Germany during the 2.5 years I was there, you know, everything was so upheaval then with the Berlin Wall still there. And in
Mhm.
the book, I say that, we could go downtown and be in a bar next to the wall and you'd hear shots and people screaming and stuff like that. And then I pulled guard at Spandau prison where they only had 3 Nazi criminals left there. And it was an amazing time. It really was.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Tell me do you have a working title for your next book and how far are you into your next book so far?
Well, I've got two in mind. One is about a there was a one-room schoolhouse up on the hill above where I live, and I just found that out a few years ago. And my grandfather went there as a child, and that's where he met his sweetheart, who they married, and they were my grandparents on the Dean side.
Hmm.
And that's one book I'm thinking about writing. The other one is a process of going to Vietnam, taking that coin and going to Vietnam.
Wonderful.
And my 1 year over there, I was wounded on December 16th, 1968. And it was not by shrapnel, it
Hmm.
was by a little girl's bones.
Huh? What happened?
I was in Saigon in a bar having a couple of beers, and I got up to leave and was walking toward the door. And this motorcycle or moped went by, and a Viet Cong or rode by and threw what we call a satchel charge at the door because they knew that this is a place where GIs hung out. And as he threw this satchel charge, there was a mother
Hmm.
and her little girl walking by, and they happened to step right in front of that door as that satchel charge hit. The satchel charge exploded. The little girl and the mother were blown into the bar front, and the little girl wound up against my legs. Part of one of her ribs went into my leg, and I had three other places on my same leg that pieces of bone went into. And she was laying at my feet.
Hmm.
And she was dead, of course, but her mouth was opening like she might have been calling for her mother. I never told anybody about this, didn't tell my existing wife, my next wife, or this wife. I've been married 3 times.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I had PTSD. I never told anybody about it until 2 years ago. I
Wow.
finally went to a shrink, a lady who pulled it out of me.
Wow.
And it was just like taking a rope and pulling it out of it. And I sat there and told her about it, and I cried and cried and cried.
Wow.
And then I came home and I told my wife, and I told my children, told grandchildren, and people that I loved and good friends. And it was the best therapy in the world, getting it off of my
Yeah.
chest.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it was through no fault of your own. It shouldn't be a secret buried deep. It's nothing you did, something that happened to you. You were a victim of it. Incredible story, Jerry. So that's going to be an amazing book. I mean, as you were telling it, I was absolutely glued to every detail. And again, that would make a terrific film also. I mean, I can just
Yeah,
picture
could
a
be.
GI in this little bar and boom, the Viet Cong throw a bomb basically towards the door and it kills a little girl and the girl goes into you. It's just
Yeah.
unbelievable. Unbelievable. Well, it looks like you're about to say something. I'm going to let you finish that thought.
Well, the little girl, as I said, she looked like she was maybe 5 or 6 years old.
Hmm.
I got out of there immediately. When something like that happens, you vacate the premises
Yeah.
immediately because
Yeah.
sometimes there's another one coming right after that.
Yeah.
So for all those years since then, every time I saw a little girl here in the United States that was about the same age, it would
Hmm.
flash back into my head.
Yeah. That's tough. That is tough stuff. Well, I'm glad you have thrived and you have survived despite that. I'm glad that a couple of years ago you did get with a good doctor who was able to help you get through that episode. I think writing about it will probably be therapeutic
Yeah.
as
Well,
well.
I'm still seeing that doctor too. I see her uh, several times a year still
Good, good. She
for
sounds like a
PTSD.
solid person, a solid doctor, so that's healthy. And
Yes.
I think this book is going to be good for you too, writing it. And also we'll let people know about the real life horrors of war. We got to end here on a happy note, Jerry.
Okay.
So I'm going to ask you, as a lifelong native of North Carolina, Southern North Carolina, what's the best barbecue joint you know?
Oh my goodness. There's one in Wilson, North Carolina,
Uh-huh.
and it's called Pig's Feet,
Okay.
and it's very good. Yeah,
Okay. Wilson's in what? It's Pig's
Wilson,
Feet in
North
Wilson,
Carolina.
North Carolina.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Got it. I'll make a mental note. You're going to be seeing me there. I'm going to get the burnt ends with mine. Okay.
Okay.
Looking forward to it. Great job, Jerry. The name of the book is Promise of the Good Luck Coin, written by Jerry Dean. You've been hearing him talk for the last 15 minutes or so. You know he's a natural-born storyteller, and this novel is just terrific. It'll take you on a journey from the Depression through Vietnam, and at the heart of it is an amazing story of this coin that has protective value, as well as a tale of forbidden love and a child's quest for identity. Excellent.
Yes.
Highly recommended. Jerry, thanks for joining us here today on Spotlight.
Thank you.
My pleasure. And to the folks at home, I'm Logan Crawford, thanking you for your time this time. Until next time on Spotlight.